Hello, friends. Welcome to the Patreon page for the Theology and the Raw podcast. My name is Preston Sprinkle. I'm the host of the Theology and the Raw podcast, and we have surpassed 900 episodes. We're coming up on 1,000 episodes. We've been going since 2015, so we're coming up on, almost 7 years. I can't believe it's been that long, and we have had over 4 million streams of the podcast in the last year. In particular, 2021 has seen a lot of growth in the podcast, and we also have over 400 Patreon supporters. So a huge shout out to those of you who are supporting the show through Patreon. And if you're considering supporting the show, then you can check out the different support tiers that you can sign up for. If you sign up at $5 a month, you get a once a month podcast that's typically a Q&A podcast. You send in your questions, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. $10 a month gives you the once a month podcast and a once a month blog that I write. And then $25 or more a month gives you 2 monthly podcasts where you can ask questions, and I'll do my best to respond, and the blog as well. More than that, $50, $100 a month, a few of you are supporting at higher levels, and you get signed copies, several books of mine that I'll sign and send them to you. So if this podcast ministry has been a blessing, a challenge to you, then please consider supporting. I began this podcast as a way to just have what I think are, thoughtful, healthy, humble conversations with other Christians, thoughtful people, typically Christians, not always Christians, but thoughtful people who have interesting ideas. And I just want to be able to have great conversations about sometimes hot button issues that people have a hard time talking about. So that's the gist of the podcast. We also do many other things and host different voices on. Sometimes I'll post a talk that I have given somewhere. Sometimes I'll just do some straight up raw teaching. So again, if this podcast has blessed you or challenged you, then please consider supporting us through Patreon.